Hello friends, welcome back. Today I'm gonna do 2 DIYs for you, and they're both Dollar Tree makeovers. So I had a lot of fun doing these, and I know you guys will too. So for this first DIY, we're gonna start with classic salt dough, and that's 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, and 1 cup of water. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water at a time and mix it in, and just keep doing that until all the water's added. Okay, so once my dough is combined, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the counter and add just a little bit of flour like I would if I was baking something. And I'm gonna knead my dough for about 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set it aside. So you'll know when your dough's ready because it's gonna feel a little bit sticky on the outside, but very pliable. Okay, so once my dough is how I want it, I'm gonna set it aside, and then I'm gonna grab a carvable pumpkin from the Dollar Tree. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to choose random ridges down the sides of the pumpkin, and I'm going to carve them out and make them just a little bit deeper. So as I'm doing this, I'm careful. I don't want to go all the way through. This pumpkin is hollow on the inside, so I don't want to go all the way through. I just want to create a little bit deeper ridges in the sides of the pumpkin. I'm not going to follow every ridge. I'm just kind of randomly. And once I get that done, I'm going to spray paint it with a white paint. Once it's dry, I'm going to grab that salt dough, and I want to make a stem that's a little bit more fairy tale looking and an exaggerated stem, I guess, with lots of curlicues in it. So I experimented quite a few different ways with my stem. I really wanted to have a really long stem that had a lot of curlicues in it, but the pliableness of the dough made it a little bit tricky. So I ended up using a cookie sheet that I have designated for spillover stuff in the oven or craft type stuff. It's not the prettiest cookie sheet, but it's designated for these type of projects. And I just put a piece of wax paper over the top of it and kind of shaped my stem how I wanted it on the cookie sheet. And I did a couple just in case because I'm gonna bake these in the oven. I have it set at 200 degrees, and I'm just gonna bake them really on a low temperature for maybe a couple hours. And you don't have to bake these, you can air dry them as well. So like I said, I just did a couple, and that way I had a few different ones to choose from. And you could use the rest of the dough now if you wanted, and use cookie cutters. That's what I did when my kids were little. We did crafts with salt dough with cookie cutters. But I have something in mind for the rest of the dough, and of course I'll share it with you guys. But I'm going to package up my dough and save it for another day. So you can store your extra dough by wrapping it in saran wrap and then putting it in a plastic bag. I always use a freezer bag. They're just a little bit thicker, and I do label it so I know what's in there. I usually have pizza dough in my refrigerator, and this looks similar, so I didn't want any mix-ups. So I just mark it, and I do put the date on it. It'll last, depending on the dough, how much moisture's in it, either a couple weeks or a couple months. Okay, so I'm gonna use some of the glittery, sparkly orange tulle from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to fold it in half just so it's a little bit thicker. And I'm going to start at one of the top ridges and glue it. I'm going to use a knife as well, not only because the hot glue is hot, I don't want to burn myself, but the knife is actually going to help me get it down in that ridge. And I'm going to pull it down and do the same thing on the bottom. So any excess at the bottom, I just cut off, and I just used a knife because that's what I had in my hand. And yeah, I'm just gonna go through each one of these ridges and pressing it in at the top and in the bottom. And I do glue the tool down the ridge, but mostly I want to press it in at the top and the bottom. And when it's done, it actually looks like the tool has been weaved through the pumpkin. So I just wanted to show you a black with it. It would be really pretty with the orange and black. You could use any color of tulle. You could have your pumpkin any color. I just chose it to be white with orange tulle. I love the glitter in it. I think it really adds something. And so when I get all of the tulle on there, I had a little bit of some vine left from another project, so I just cut a couple leaves off, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint my stem. It came out of the oven and it's cooled, and yeah, so I'm going to start with a brown, and I'm just going to kind of dry brush it on there, and then I'm going to go over it with a little bit of green. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm just going to have it kind of blended in just a few areas and kind of really rough looking. And once I get the green on there everywhere I want it, then I'm going to add a little bit of a copper color over the top of it. And I think that the copper really kind of brings it, kind of gives it that fairy tale look. That's what I want. I want all my pumpkins this year to look very fairy tale. Okay, so I decided I wanted to add those same colors just at the top and a little bit at the bottom of my pumpkin, and just the same thing. I'm just going to dry brush it on there. I'm just actually using a paper towel, dry paper towel. I do get it a little bit damp just so I can kind of blend a little bit better, but same colors, and I kind of go down a couple of the ridges that don't have the tulle on them, just a little bit. I just wanted a hint of these colors. You're not going to really see them much underneath the stem from the leaves and stuff I'm going to put on there, but just a hint of it. I just wanted it to blend a little bit. Okay, so once I get my paint how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue my stem on. So I ended up having to use another piece of a stem. Remember, I made a couple different ones. Well, I needed to prop this one up a little bit straighter, so I put that one underneath, and it's unpainted. It won't matter, you won't see it. Then I go ahead and start hot gluing my leaves around, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of Spanish moss at the very base of the stem. So here it is. I think it's super cute. It's almost got like a whimsical feel, like a jester feel to me. I don't know why, but I love it. I think I'm going to do a couple more. Okay guys, for this next DIY, I use this metal bucket vase. Not sure exactly what it is, but I got it from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use that same white spray paint. And the reason I'm using this spray paint is because I want it shiny. Otherwise I would have used a chalk. Now if you want that flat finished look, then go ahead and use a chalk paint. And I go ahead and sand it, not everywhere, just in random places, just for a little bit of a roughed up look. And then I grab these letter and number stickers. I've had these forever. You can get them at the Dollar Tree as well. And the reason I'm using stickers is because I want to be able to switch this out maybe at Christmas too. So I did think about stenciling or freehand painting some words on here, but I chose stickers so I can switch it out pretty easy. So I'm just going to spell out Hayride, and I'm going to put a price on there, and I used 40 cents. I thought that was kind of cute and kind of old-fashioned maybe. And then I'm just going to add a couple of stickers that I had. They're just sunflowers. I wanted that color on there. And you could use, you know, obviously any sort of fall type stickers, leaves or pumpkins. But I just thought that these sunflowers were cute and I didn't want it overly decorated. So I'm going to use some plastic grocery bags that I had just to kind of fill it up a little bit. I put 2 in there. And I wanted to show you this. I had just made this another DIY, so I added some more flowers to the top where the candle would have gone, and you could put that in there and that would be really pretty. Just flowers in there, you know, fall type, even leaves would be nice. But I wanted to use this hay, or wheat hay. It's wheat branches that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I did a DIY on these last year and I painted them gold. So I used 5 branches and I wrapped another plastic bag around that, just kind of hold it where I want it. Then I'm going to add a little bit of Spanish moss around the base of it. You could put hay in there. I think hay would be really cute. I would have actually had to have not been lazy and walked up to my chicken coop. I could have gotten some hay, but I used the Spanish moss and I wanted it kind of sticking out a little bit. I think it's super cute and it go perfect in any room. So anyway, I hope you guys like these DIYs. I hope you're having a great day and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.